Welcome to the Good, the Scaz and the Rugby, brought to you by Vodafone. We're back in the studio. Scaz is here looking lovely in red. Mo is still in camp. Big week, Grand Slam, decider at the weekend. Something monumentus AS happened this week in the history of this podcast, which has been going for well over 2 years now. And that is that the Queen herself, our Scaz, decided to follow the Good, the Scaz and the Rugby on Twitter. Nobody noticed. I mean, we only told the whole world, and got 193 likes on her account when she retweeted it quite nonchalantly. But the best was when one of our followers replied to my tweet on the topic and said, "Give it another year, Alma, and she might also follow you."
Do I not follow you? Don't I? You hadn't even prepped me for this. That's hilarious. See, it's just a thing. I'm so sorry. I don't really use Twitter that much. Is one part of a really bad defense, but it is what it is. We know I'm bad at social media. It was funny because I was scrolling the other day and it was like, you know, the suggested things comes up and it was like, don't know you, don't. And I was like, Good Scaz Rugby, shit. Better follow that. And I was like, this is going to come to bite me. And I did contemplate not doing it because I thought, well, no one's noticed this far.
Yeah. But you know what? It's okay because among my followers count John Cena, Kuma Sangakara, Quade Cooper, and your mom.
Do you know what I mean? You don't even need me.
I don't know if I really need you.
You don't need me at all.
In my little family of friends on Twitter. But if you are in my family of friends on Twitter, just know that you and I, we're on one side and she's on the other.
I'm so sorry.
I think I might block her now.
She doesn't tweet anything anyway. So.
I mean, it's not like she says anything useful anyway. Places where you have been saying useful things, the BBC. Can we talk about your hair? Because how is it that you achieve that level of shine? What is it that you do?
You wouldn't believe the amount of comments I've had about my hair this last couple of weeks. It's unbelievable. Do you know what the best thing is? It is scraggly as hell if you get up close to it. It needs a cut so bad.
How was it so shiny on Saturday? What did you put on it?
I don't know. Lack of shampoo and conditioner without protein.
You are dragging me now because of the advice I gave to other people in your presence when I was very insistent upon the fact that if you highlight your hair, you need to have protein-containing products in treating it. But I am asking because I genuinely need answers.
You said the word protein about 15 times in the space of a minute.
But it's because Thames Water hates me and I've never been able to have nice hair since I moved to this country.
Maybe come to the Midlands. Maybe that's it, Midlands Water.
I'll come wash my hair at your house more regularly.
Welcome anytime.
Okay, can we talk about the rugby just for a minute? Because there was a momentous moment on the pitch this weekend, either side of Scaz's beautiful hair moments, and that was our Mo singing God Save the King.
How flipping cute was she? So good. I think, obviously, she wants to be back in a white shirt, but that was kind of the thing, that she'd never sang that anthem because of the timing of when she'd played at last and whatnot. And did you see her little face as the camera panned? Luckily, it didn't stay on her for too long, but I could see there was a little chin wobble in there, 100%. Oh, she was, yeah, I thought she played really well. Obviously, I'm biased, but I did think she played really well. It was just, yeah, so good to see her back in a white shirt. She's so proud to represent her country, and it was lush to see her back doing that.
And then we have announced our winner, the person who gets the last 2 tickets to come join us for Le Crunch Avec Branch.
So good. Gets catchier the more you say it.
The more I say the Crunch Avec Brunch at the Cabbage Patch on Saturday morning. I just want to say, I still cannot believe that it sold out in 2 hours.
Cannot believe.
I mean, I know that you have star power, but I don't think even I realised how much. Oh, by the way, on the topic of star power, the BBC crew who worked on the broadcast this weekend, I know them, because they are my colleagues. And I had a full meeting with someone on Wednesday morning where we were actually supposed to talk about work, where they spent 10 minutes telling me how starstruck the crew were about working with you. One of the guys had you sign his pass.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know?
Tariq? Was that his name?
It wasn't for his daughter.
Because when he gave it me and I signed it and I was like, because he told me about his daughter playing before when we were having a chat in the truck. And I signed it. I was like, oh, is that for your daughter? And he kind of went, yeah. Oh, bless him. He was so lush. We sat in the truck all game and just sat with those guys and built some of the like half-time and full-time packages and stuff. He was a really nice guy.
People were starstruck. So if you are a little starstruck on Saturday morning, you are not alone. Even people who work in TV with very famous rugby players all the time are getting the Emily effect, the Becky with the good hair effect, up close and personal. So we cannot wait to see you at the Cabbage Patch. And if you didn't get tickets, just come say hi. And also please note that we will do more events in future because we didn't realise how dire the need was.
It's madness.
To take old Scazzy out on the road. We need to get her out in front of her people. Her fans want to have a slice. I mean, I'll just come along for the laughs, but...
And KDM is joining us.
And KDM, Antons.
Antons.
Yeah. So, it's going to be a good one. Let's move on to our one-word review. Our good friends at Honda have asked us to give a one-word review of last weekend's action. And she's already paging because she is so ahead of me on this. I have written mine down. Can I flip mine first?
Please.
Because it's relevant to our friend that we have just discussed.
Scrunchy.
Scrunchy.
Cute.
Almo, if you didn't notice this on the game, was wearing a very special scrunchie. Does she have an England scrunchie? She wasn't wearing it on
What was
Saturday.
she wearing?
She was wearing a Gloucester Hartbury scrunchie.
Was she?
Oh.
Constant advertising, that girl. Always.
Oh, I mean...
Always. Relentless.
Doesn't stop.
Doesn't stop.
With the Gloucester Hartbury stash all over the place. So we see you, Mo. Gloucester Hartbury fans see you as well. Give us your one-word review.
Okay, so bear with me again.
Oh, gosh. What is this going to be now? Is this a word that is going to be hard to say?
Yes. Yoldy.
That's not a word.
No, bear with me. I've written some notes. Basically, it's a Scottish word with my nod to Scotland and how well they did.
Can we go into other languages?
And it means, like, good vibes, happy, giving it a yoldy. Apparently, that's what the girls were doing in the change rooms. They were giving it a yoldy.
They were giving it a yoldy in celebration. Can you say they were giving it a yoldy on the pitch or not?
I think we can say whatever we want.
A yoldy.
Yoldy. I Googled it and I sent it to my Scottish friends and they went, it's not quite right, but I went with it anyway.
Is this like the Scottish equivalent of toodlepip where...
No, I think it's legit.
Yeah, but is this like an old-timer word?
Yes. Scotty did say to me, it's something my mum would say to me, and I was like, well, that makes perfect sense me saying it then.
Oh, very Emily Scarrett then. Absolutely apt.
But it was my nod to Scotland and how very great their win was.
Congratulations to Scotland. And on the topic of Scotland, I know that you're always on about how English you are, but if you were not English, then have you checked whether there's any Scottish heritage in the Scarrett family tree?
I have checked and definitely isn't, but I am very Scottish in my heart, I think. The weekend was so good. I've been one of their biggest supporters. They are a stressful team to watch, and I tell the girls this all the time. But yes, so chuffed for them at the weekend. So
joining us now to continue riding this wave of celebration, Helen Nelson and Rachel Malcolm, live from within the, what do you guys call the space that you inhabit, the lair? What is it? What is the place where the thistles... no, I mean not the real name, not the serious name, the fun name. Like, you know, the mothership.
Really? Hame. What at him?
The hame. Wow. Okay, we went deep. Big win over Italy. So many beautiful moments at the end of that. I love that the cameras immediately cut to Rachel Malcolm crying. Look at how you're shaking your head. Because immediately, it literally is like tears. Good or bad, there will be tears and everyone was there for it.
But how good that they were good tears this time.
Such good tears.
Yeah, it's been a long time and they've been sitting in there for a while actually, those good tears. So yeah, was super happy. We all were very, very relieved, I think was probably the overwhelming feeling.
How good was it to have Jade Kunkel-Roberts
yeah, like they were buzzing to have her back, and she made such a difference. And just like the amount she carries, tackles, all that sort of stuff, she's classed her in his squad. So yeah, big full stitch.
I found it odd watching her run around in a 4 shirt. I don't know if anybody else had that. It was really bizarre. Because you can pick her out so easily, and then she had a 4 on her back, and it was weird. It was just so weird because she's so iconic with the 8 jersey. Yeah. Bizarre.
And a very all over the place 4, like.
Yeah, no, she
bringing all of that.
A lot of work. I think it took her a few days to get her head round scrummaging, but no, she did a class job. Like, and I think to have like her and Evie Gallagher on the pitch was a massive plus for us. Like, Evie's been class at 8 all tournaments, so to have them both on the pitch and Evie doing her thing at 8 and Jade still doing everything she does at 8 with the number 4 on her back, yeah, I think, you know, they were a big part of the reason we won. So yeah, no, great to have them both.
Nels, how's the 50th? Because I feel like when you like plan these things, winning at home on your 50th cap, having not won in a period of time, like that must be an unbelievable day.
Oh, it was class. Like, everything you dream of that you want your 50th cap to be. Emma Wassell was there telling me that it wasn't quite as perfect as her 50th cap. But for me, like, being at home, like you say, getting that win after it's been a bit of a slog, waiting for it and putting in all that hard work. So, yeah, unbelievable. Couldn't have asked for more.
I think my favourite thing about it being Nelly's 50th was we obviously had Tomo's 50th the week before. We have all known that Tomo's 50 is coming for about 50 weeks. And nobody knew it was Nelly's because Nelly just like goes under the radar and goes about her business. So we had 2 contrasting sales. Tomo had like this perfect fairy tale in her head, and she's been planning every game that it possibly could be, and obviously she didn't know she was going to get in. And then Nelly's just like comes out the woodwork last week like, yeah, if I play this weekend, it's going to be a big 50. I want this. No, the bad you to say if I wouldn't want the pressure, I absolutely wouldn't want the pressure. Of what you want? And I was like, I don't know. So, yeah.
But you did. So good.
Dream result. Let's just quickly go. Do you know, can you isolate and replicate what you did? Do you know what it was that worked? And is this something that you know you can do again?
I think we do. In some ways. Like, I think, like, obviously rugby's like a massive part of it, but I think like our performances have actually been there, and obviously we like a bonus point loss, so it's not like we've been a million miles away, and like the performances have been there and like the rugby's been there, but I think like crucial moments have just not gone in our favour in a lot of games. And I think there was just like a different feel to the weekend in terms of like swings of momentum and how we dealt with them, and like we turned them around a lot quicker than what we have done before. And I think we really didn't focus, well, like we kind of said as a squad, like not to focus on the scoreboard, and like Nelly and I would look after that. And I think like taking that focus away and just giving people like just do your job and like the rest will take care of itself. I think like just bits and bobs like that. I do think like we've been growing a lot as a squad, particularly even in this championship. It's a young team, and I think yeah, like all those learnings just kind of came to fruition. And I think there's still loads of stuff we did wrong. We would probably rather not have brought it from being quite a big gap to a very little gap in the second half. So there's still a lot we can learn and do better. But I think just like dealing with those swings of momentum and like our reactions to those moments was so much better.
Did you manage to watch it live?
Yep.
What were you like? A nightmare?
A nightmare, especially when they let Italy back into it.
Strong word.
Because I was like,
we did a very shaky.
Sorry, I did.
Yeah.
Every team has a purple patch at some point, and I think that was Italy's. So yeah, no, they didn't let them. They fought back because they're a very good side.
There we go. Yeah,
BBC
sorry, back here. I'm back. But no, it was so good. As ever, super tense watching them. But I thought Nelly kicked very well. I thought that was one of the such a good part of the game. Yes, do more of that. And oh yeah, it was just so good. Like, who was I watching it with? There was a crowd of us, and we were all just a little bit stressed. But at the end, as we said, to see Scotty and happy tears is a good thing.
Scotty, why did you say last time she doesn't like that nickname?
Well, I think because she's called it because she's Scottish, but obviously there's a lot of Scottish people.
Say, yeah, she's not the only one.
This started in 2009 when I played hockey, and I was the only Scottish person in the team, so it was like kind of. We had like an Irish and we had a Welshie, so then it was made sense I was Scotty. But now I play in a a full Scottish team aligning, essentially. There's many Scottish people, and when we play against most of the teams in that league, there's generally Scottish people too, and people are calling me Scotty, so it just doesn't really work as well anymore, but it's kind of stuck.
Would you prefer the Empress of Scotland? Would you should we just put a title in
Absolutely
front of
not.
it to make it a little more official?
Scotty's fine.
Mrs. Scotty.
It's like Scotty doesn't like her nickname and Nelly doesn't like her first name. So I like to call Nelly Helen and Scotty.
Just be that friend.
Yeah.
Good fun. Listen, speaking of that friend, Sarah Bonner and Collie B, her bestie.
She is our number one supporter. She's been at as many games as she can be, and she sends us some very...
Happens in the morning. So tomorrow on game day, I'll just hear different people walking along the corridor, like chuckling to themselves. I look at my phone and it'll be a message from Bonds on the group being like, "Don't get too excited, but I know it's 8:30, but like," and then just goes onto this caps lock message.
Like the whole thing's in capitals. Yeah, honestly, more swear words than you could ever. Yeah.
We retold the Spartan story of when we came up to Largs when she was in, everyone will understand a little bit about.
I think Bonner was the only one that was for the Spartan theme. 100%. She loved the
team, and everyone else every year like that.
Hence, again, probably bought a bloody. I know. She was wanting to get, but there was like a Latin phrase or something, wasn't it? She was like, I'm going to get it tattooed, and we were like, no.
So no Sparta watching before the game. It's not a regular fixture. You're not doing this every week.
One season thing, and it didn't really work.
It was safe for pre-season against Loughborough. Big games they don't.
Yeah, it's really the big games. Okay, speaking of big games, final round of the TikTok Women's Six Nations and the cat properly among the pigeons. Sorry to mention this, but last year you guys were sixth in the Six Nations. Now anything is almost possible, it feels to me here, because so much riding on Italy, Wales. You guys have Ireland, and there is a part of this where it might be out of your hands. But how much attention are you paying to WXV qualification and where that lands you guys on the log? Or are you just going into this game just win at all costs and the rest will take care of itself?
Yeah, I think obviously that is in the back of our minds. But I think we just, as a whole squad, are letting our coaches deal with the kind of looking at the intricacies of points and stuff. We just know it's going to be an absolute battle on Saturday. Like, the Irish have kind of named it as their cup final, and we just said, like, we need to be the best that we've been all tournament, go out and win, and then we can start looking at points and where that leaves us. But I think for us, it's that performance and just keep getting better.
Has this campaign already been a success?
I think, it has, for the reason that we have so many young players in our team who've had exposure to international rugby. I think, like, we obviously have like a big goal in the future of the next World Cup, and I think like a big learning from the last one is that, you know, depth is so important. And I think, you know, some of the young girls coming through, you know, our two young props like Anne Young and Eliane have both got exposure, and Eva Donaldson, who's come on in the second row, like, she has been incredible. Like, she's not just like on the pitch but off the pitch as well. And I think like from that alone, like the experience those young players have got, and how well they've stepped up as well, like they've done absolutely phenomenally when they've had their opportunities. So like for the future, like it's definitely like a positive. And I think kind of winning in a Scotland shirt isn't something that we necessarily get to do very often, and I think for them to know how that felt and to have that experience and what it took for that to happen is so important for their experience as well. So I think from that alone, that it has been a success, but I think we probably won't be satisfied with just coming away with one win and obviously bleeding new talent. Like, we want a lot more from this still, and I think like that's kind of been our motivation all week. We've not really dwelled on the weekend at all. Like, that's for in a week's time. Like, we want to push on and finish the job.
Come on the girls.
Come on the girls. So excited to see this. Brilliant. Thank you, girls, for joining us. It was lovely to just see your faces and say congratulations.
Thank you very much for having us.
Come on the girls. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Well, we can't wait to hang out with Rachel and Helen when we head north for our big podcast at Loughborough Lightning's big game against Gloucester Hartpury. Make sure you get your tickets for that game if you haven't yet. Franklin's Gardens, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Now, we look ahead to Le Crunch. And to do this with us, she has magically just appeared on the couch out of nowhere. An absolute legend of the French game, both in 15s and 7s, a veteran of 5 Six Nations championships, a woman that has a very interesting CV, a full website, like an insane LinkedIn profile, and was for many years at Stade de France in Paris, and this year is a force to be reckoned with for Harlequins, and I'm going to do my best to say her name as well as I can in my second language, English. Lenaig Corson. Corson?
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's good. It's good.
Known as Lenny to Bryony Cleal and her mates.
Lendog. They call me Lendog.
Oh, not even Lenny.
Why do
Wow.
we do that in England? We always put dog on the end of things.
I'm so glad you haven't called me Elm Dog yet. Scaz Dog.
It's from the Wasps. So,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool to have a surname, a nickname
Yeah.
in English.
That means
I like
people,
this.
yeah, it means
Yeah.
you're accepted and people.
You're in.
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah. It's like when they follow you, then you know you're in as well. I'm really getting over it. Okay.
There it is.
Any moment now. Let's talk about that French crowd because it is something to behold. And you are giving me a knowing look because you're just absolutely gloating and going, do you know what? We should have a moment here because France did set a record, and I feel like no one has given that enough airtime. 18,604 fans in Grenoble. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Stade des Alpes.
Wow. New attendance record for the Women's Six Nations. How proud does that make you?
Yeah, and in 2018 we had this same similar crowd for the game against Black Ferns. That was amazing. I was on the pitch at this moment, and it was crazy to have so many people shooting, singing in the stadium. That was really good memories, and we are very lucky to have this crowd in France. And the time that changed, it was in 2014 during the Rugby World Cup in France. The FFR, the French Federation, announced, okay, so we have the Rugby World Cup in France, in Paris, in the middle of summer, and the pool games will be in Marcoussis. Marcoussis is a small village in the middle of nowhere. I said, oh my God, there is no public transport for going there, so will be empty during the summer. So we were a bit nervous about this. And actually, for the first game, that was full. And there were crowds. And it's starting to be better and better. And when the semi-final at Jean Bouin, Stade Français Paris, the stadium of Stade Français was full, 20,000 people. In 2014, you can imagine that so many years ago, that was crazy. And that was the beginning of the new era in France.
The French crowd always do it so good and so different as well. They've probably set the standard for consistency of big crowds, I'd say. Obviously, I'm sure we'll come on to talk about Twickenham at the weekend, but that's an anomaly really in terms of crowd size for here, whereas the French always, it's like every English person I think says, where's your favourite place to play? They say France because the crowd, and it's hostile, like it's not a particularly nice environment to be in a lot of the time. It's, full noise, full shebang, but it's just an unbelievable environment to play in. And that Stade des Alpes in Grenoble is an unbelievable stadium. We've played there quite a few times. There's it's almost like glass at the top, isn't it? And you can see the mountains. It's an amazing place to be.
I think in this weekend we're gonna have a big record at Twickenham, and that's crazy because I remember I played against you in 2013, in 2017 during Six Nations, and there were no one. We can heard our echo in the stadium during warm-up, so that was the main before they played before. And when you come in the stadium and it's full, it's a big crowd, and you said, you feel all the energy of people, and so you are so happy to have this good atmosphere during warm-up, and you come back to change room, and you come back on the pitch, and there is no one. empty in 10 minutes. No one.
It's amazing how quickly a stadium can empty in 10 minutes. I think we learned that when we used to do it, because Lenny's right, you'd be at the warm-up and it was just buzzing, wasn't it? Unbelievable, to the point that you're a little bit like, whew. Then you come back in, put your shirts on, go back out for anthems, and then you're walking out, everyone's gone, you turn around and everyone's pretty much gone, and you're like, flipping heck. So this weekend is going to be unbelievable for that. I mean, yeah, I can't wait to be there. You're going to be there?
Yeah, of course I will be there. I will commentating with French radio. I'm so excited for that. I'm a bit jealous too, because I stopped my career. I never seen that. But I mean, like a supporter now. But I think when you are a player and you live this moment, that's so crazy. I played for Barbarians, and that was a world record for women rugby, 30,000 people in the stadium at Twickenham. That was crazy. Really, it's so good for women rugby, and I think we deserve it. But also we know they make many efforts about with the federation, also the people. I think here there is big atmosphere and people want to involve in women's sports. It's like I've been with my share mates to the stadium for watching Arsenal women, and I was so surprised about the crowd. Again, 50,000 people for the first game of the season, Arsenal against Tottenham or Arsenal against Chelsea. That was full. And I think, I'm a bit jealous, and I want to have this in France too, because the crowd is for the French team, but for the club, for Elite One, the Premierships equivalent, there is no one in the stadium. So
that's interesting. Why?
Because I think you made many effort for make the Premiership very clear. The visibility is so good, because you can see on Twitter, on Instagram, so many things about girls, also about the statistics, about the results, about who is this player, what is she doing in her life, why. Yeah, there are so good highlights and many stuff around the game. And in France, we don't promote the game, so it's not very clear. Every season we change our Premiership, Elite One, so it changed. Yeah, I think the last 10 years it changed, maybe 5 times. So it was 16 teams, 10 teams, 8 teams, 14 teams. That's not clear at all. So that's not very clear for people. So they want to watch women rugby, but it's not broadcasted, so it's not on TV. So except some, maybe the semi-final and the final, but that's it. So I think we are so lucky to have the Premiership on TV, BBC, and also on the platform online. So it's so easy to follow the women rugby, not in France.
And yet you still have these massive crowds turn out for the Six Nations. So where do you think that crowd comes from? Are they just so starved for the rest of the year, and then they go, do you know what, the international matches are here, we're going to go out and support?
Because I think we are professional and the performance is good to watch. But I think in the club, the level is it's not very attractive. Maybe not for Montpellier, Stade Toulousain, Blagnac. That is the top clubs in France, and with good level, the game is really good to watch. But otherwise, it's not very interesting. And I think because they love French flair, and I think the women rugby we can show that a lot. And the French team, they love our way to play.
What are your thoughts on stadium sizes? Because when we come to France, we play all over, have done for years. And obviously those stadiums are probably, 20,000 max capacity maybe? Because I know last year in the Six Nations, I can't remember where we played. Do you know where we played?
Bayonne.
One stand was shut and it sold out. And you kind of felt like maybe we could have been somewhere bigger. And you would have
maybe Stade de France.
Maybe, but we've kind of done the same. And obviously, we sold out Kingston Park when we played Scotland in Newcastle, first game of the Six Nations, and obviously coming back to Twickenham, we're kind of at a place whereby we've gone out and about and sold out, Sandy Park, Kingston Park. We were at Doncaster for a period, sold those out, and actually now we're kind of cliche coming home to the big one and actually, giving it a really good go. Do you think that's something that France does well, or actually they, like you say, could actually move some of them to Stade de France now?
Yeah, it's what I want to, because the last game in Stade de France was in 2012.
I remember
so it's been ages we haven't been in Stade de France.
I remember that one because, sorry to butt in, Thierry Dusautoir presented Michaela Staniford with her 50th cap, and we were all like, oh my God. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, that was crazy. We were just after the main game, and I received my first cap in Stade de France with all the main players, and I was so like a kid. Oh my God, this is Michalak, this is so good players, Para, so many good players. And I was big fan of Michalak, Frédéric Michalak. And just he clapped in his hand when I received my first cap. I said, "Oh my God, oh my God!" It was crazy. And before that, I was so happy and lucky because I was one of the first women to receive my cap. Otherwise, it was a rabbit ears for other one. Yeah, that was awful. And some of girls never received her caps for France. So that I know that can be ridiculous.
Wait, go again. They got rabbit's ears.
Yes,
like a real
the joke ones.
Yeah. That's not a joke.
Until when?
2012. Yeah, in autumn. Yeah, October.
Until 2012.
November. Yeah.
French women's players, when they were capped for their country for the first time, I know we're aghast and this sounds like a joke, but it is tragic.
Yeah.
Were given rabbit's ears.
Yeah, I think maybe the first one received maybe first cap, but I'm not sure. And for a long time, they received rabbit ears. That was crazy because no recognition. And so after that, the French Federation recognized that some girls didn't receive properly a cap. So they called her back and they said, "This is your cap now." But for a long time, I didn't know that. So I said, "Oh, that's cool, my cap." And in Stade de France with Michalak, and said, "Oh my God!" And you know, Lenny, you're very lucky. I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, maybe." And I heard about this. I said, "Yeah, other one received rabbit's ears for many long time."
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No, really, I don't know. Maybe
like
not enough stock for caps in French Federation. I don't know. Really, I don't know.
I really hope someone reaches out to us on the DMs and sends us the backstory here because I feel like I need to understand this more.
Agreed.
But I'm fascinated by how little we understand of the women's game in France because I feel, most of the videos that I have found always has French subtitles on French content, and I go, that does not help me at all. Can you tell I have a bit of a gripe about this? But how different is the women's game to the men's game in France, both in style, like the way you play, the culture around it? In South Africa, the women's game is miles off the men's game. I mean, the difference is indescribable, actually. Whereas the women's game in England is very forward-driven, very like so
many
much
malls.
strength and physicality, malls, very happy to play in the rain.
Hey,
the rain can come
hey.
the rain can come from sideways, it can rain from the bottom up, everyone's happy, more rain, more,
Adaptable, just
more
adaptable.
happiness, everyone's very comfortable. If you had to typify the women's game in France, how similar or different is it to the men's game?
I think in France, we love to play with the ball, to carry the ball, but also to make some offload and to keep the ball alive all the time. And that is very similar of the men game too. Maybe, we want to, I think at training, we spend many time for this in the middle, what's happened in the middle of the field. And here, it's totally different. We spent so many times in the red zone to protect our kicker and to kick, and also in the goal zone, many mauls, many pick and go. I was so surprised.
Welcome to England, then.
Oh yeah, oh my God. But
Settle
for
in.
me, I'm a bit frustrated, you know, because I love to play, to jouer all the time, and to make some offload and to keep the ball alive. And definitely it's not like this here. And with so many time for strategy, but I think it's what we miss in our game, because that's why you won against France many times now, 11 times in row. Because we don't spend a lot of time to defend pick and go or maul, and here it's totally different. We spend so many time at training to defend maul properly. But yeah, I think because we love to jouer all the time, but that's don't help to win all the time.
But the swagger with which you do it is so compelling to watch.
And some of the highlights reels, like I forget her name, the 6 from the weekend.
Do you mean Gaël Hermé?
No, not the other.
Escudero?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Her try. They went from the try line, bum, offload central, try.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Entertainment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the stuff that gets the fans coming in.
I think when we watch the last pool games during Rugby World Cup and we watch England, that was so boring for French people. Really.
No offense taken.
I'm sorry to say that, but it's what people think in France. They said, "Oh, that's it. That is the best, one of the best team in the world," and that you are not creating, the game. You are just very pragmatic, very efficient. That's very true, and I respect that. But just for the style. We love the style. We love the French flair. We love carry the ball and keep offload, keep the ball alive. And I just repeat myself, but just we love to jouer.
What do you think to England's performance this Six Nations? Because we have. Can I attach
This
myself
Six
we
Nation?
to this? Yeah, we've tried to move the ball a bit more. Wingers scoring lots of tries.
Width. I mean, we've been saying width every freaking week. It's all she keeps talking about is the width. Every time she says width on the BBC, I'm like, oh, here she goes again. Backline player scored a try.
But we had a game. Which game was it? The Wales game. No driving maul tries. None. 0.
Look at how happy she is.
I'm just fuming I'm not out there when this starts happening. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe we can have a chance.
Can we talk about this weekend? Are you excited?
Well, I mean, we're talking about it now, aren't we?
Well, yeah, true.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes.
But at the start of this tournament, we said farewell to Sarah Hunter in the most English way in the north. They shipped a whole travelling circus to the north and everyone packed out the stadium and bid farewell to Sarah Hunter. Jessie Tremoulier decided, no, the Duchess of French rugby. No, she's going to play the whole Six Nations and she will have her swan song, her farewell, in front of 53,000 people at Twickenham.
So good.
I'm so jealous. Really, I'm so jealous. Jessie Tremoulier is my best friend in rugby and we started together. My first cap was with her in Stade de France. And we were all the time. She was my roommate. Sometimes it wasn't good because we were not in advance, not in time. So they said, "Okay, separate them because they are not good together."
Yeah,
but I was. Yeah, we are both from countryside and both very authentic person and very cool person. So I think we are like this. But so I was so happy for her because just to finish your career like this in this way, that's just crazy. I didn't have the same chance with the French team. Yeah, that was very sad for most of them. Kumba Diallo, Morgan Perronnet, many players. We just quit the French team, and we just have a call and a video Zoom. And in 2 minutes they said, okay, it's done. You are not contracted. Bye. Ciao. Said, okay. That was very insane. Very.
That was the first and last you heard of it.
Yeah. That was
On
the
a
last.
Zoom call.
Yeah.
After 10 years of playing for your country.
Exactly. Yeah, that was very hard to leave that. Really, I was at home. I didn't want to see anyone and just keep in my garden to plant many plants and to be in my garden and to have my therapy with nature. But yeah, that was so hard to leave. So now I'm so happy that my best friend in rugby is doing this for, just finishing a career at Twickenham in front of 53,000 of people. That's massive. That's huge.
I'm going to say this, but don't chop this sentence up. I feel like someone like a Jessie deserves to win in her last game at Twickenham.
Oh!
For her as an... Wait, this is what I mean. Don't chop this up. For her as an individual, and I'm thinking, poetically here.
Look at you.
Do I want France to win? No. But do you know what I mean? You know what I mean. That would be... she's had an unbelievable career.
Can we just quickly go back to, I'm really sorry about what happened to you. I'm really sorry because that's not cool.
No.
No. And it is very disappointing and disheartening to hear, because I feel like the standards should be so very much higher for people who put in the kind of work that you have put in and the kind of performances that you have put in. And I'm really glad we get to talk to you so that I can say, I know I'm not even a French or a French fan, but thank you for what you did, because you never had your swan
Thank
song.
you.
And I really hope that this weekend gives you, even if it is secondhand, some closure. So when we celebrate Jessie, we're celebrating you as well.
Yeah. It's. I feel I'm a bit on the pitch with her, or maybe in her heart, because Jessie leave, and it's the end of a generation, and she's the last one. I called Kumba Diallo. She has been on Grenoble this weekend for the game, and she was close to her, and she received a big frame with Merci Jessie on her jersey. So that's really cool to say goodbye and to anyone after a big career of more than 10 years. And she was incredible on the pitch, and incredible human. So I will be a bit with her, I think, this weekend. The French team asked me, so could you find many pictures of her and videos? And I have so many big files on Jessie Trémoulière on my laptop. And I spent 3 hours to open every files from 7s, from 15s, for 10 years. For 10 years, that's massive. So, for 3 years, I spent my time, and I loved so much. I sent to Kumba Diallo, said, look at her. And that's so good, because you can see that's rugby, and you meet people, but also you spend many time with people, and sometimes it's so hard, sometimes it's so good. And I know she will be still my friend, even if we are not playing anymore rugby together. So that's good to have good, friendship outside of rugby. Yeah.
Lifelong friendship.
Exactly.
She is retiring to go farm.
What a gal.
Yeah, she's a farmer.
What a gal.
I Googled this.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what she's farming with, and it says
what she's
livestock.
With.
I'm serious. I wanted to know. It said cereals, which to me it means grain, right?
Yeah.
Like wheat, not cereals.
All grains.
What? Other grains? What are we talking? How complicated does this get?
Wheat, barley, oats.
Oh, okay, yeah. We didn't bother with those in South Africa. and so she's like going to literally every day be a farmer.
Exactly. Yeah, she is. Yeah,
Wow.
she's impressive because to be so good on the pitch and to have a day like her, it's just crazy. You're awake very early and you have to be, it's very physical job. So no, that was crazy to do both in the same time.
So has she been doing both? She's not ever been a full-time rugby player?
I mean, she should, but but yeah, in France, so the 7th team is contracted full time.
Yeah.
But for the 15, you are contracted 75%.
What does
So-
this mean? Can someone explain it to me in English?
That means 75% of your time, and the rest of your time is 25 for doing professional life or studies or
Do they get 100% salary for that 75%
yeah.
time?
Full time means 100% professional.
Okay.
And 75% means quarter, 3/4 professional.
But then what job wants you for 25% of the year? I don't understand how this works. So the 25% of the time, Jessie Tremoulier has been farming throughout,
Yes.
getting up before dawn, looking after the livestock and the cereal farming and all the things.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say looking after the cereals.
The oats.
But I think she was happy like this, because she needs to do other things. Because when you are playing all the time rugby, some of them love that. Maybe like Camille Gracineau, she's playing rugby full time, and she's very happy with that. But for Jessie or for me, we need to do other things, because I think we feel more accomplished in our life to do other things, to meet other people, and because we love professional relationship, and also to serve to other things.
So tell us about the players. What are they like as characters? Everyone's been talking about Vernier, obviously, because she's just absolutely phenomenal.
Venier.
Vernier. What did I?
Roll
What
your
did I
R's,
say?
Elma.
Sorry. Well, if I said it the way my brain reads it, it's Vernier. But I mean, like, we won't go there.
Yeah, she's amazing. Really, she's so good in defense. She's so small, but she.
How much does she weigh?
Circle.
Do you know? Because she plays like she's
Maybe
my size.
60 kilos?
Yeah,
maybe
she's
less.
gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she's
Unbelievable.
so small. No,
So much confidence.
I think it's very technical too.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's more like this. She's tackled very low, and she's not afraid. So
The amount of
you
I
can
can't
be
even.
big.
Yeah, I can't even tell you the amount of times I've been smashed by her. Just like, and you think like height difference is a lot, size difference is decent. Yeah, so, yeah. Honestly, she packs a proper punch. She's unbelievable. But like you say, it has to be technical because at her size, if you're not technical, you don't get away with it.
Yeah.
But she's a big like Marjorie Mayence. She's also
Yeah.
very small. I mean, not
She's
small,
unbelievable
but
as well.
She tackles so well and so low. So that's why her tackle was very impressive.
Let's talk about that expansive kicking game, stretching Wales really from the word go. Kicking has been a topic of conversation during
I have seen that on Twitter.
this championship. Woo, woo. Shululu.
Shululu.
Ooh la la. Ooh la la. Your take on it, please.
I've seen some tweets from Simon. I'm not tweet from Simon Middleton, but I've seen a BBC article. Many players was very surprised, and many feminists said, "Oh yeah, maybe we can reduce the size of the pitch. Maybe we cannot push on the scrum," but I think it's not the question and it's not the issue. It's more maybe it would be easier and maybe more attractive to have a smaller ball. Really, I don't know if it's good because look at my hands. It's ours big enough for take the ball, but
What
also,
size shoe do you wear?
44.
What does that
mean?
12. Oh,
I'm a 39.
A 12. Go on, girl.
No, 11 US size.
Oh,
11.
what about UK? Did it say UK?
9 and a half.
Oh, we're similar.
Oh, really?
Big-footed girls.
9.
9.
That could
the
be a
secret.
kicker.
I was going to say, why aren't you kicking?
I'm so bad for this. I remember there were a game with the sevens team. We call this football rugby. And I was so bad. They called me Zlatan Ibrahimovic because all the time I was tackling people but so hard. I was so physical because I wanted to win. I'm very competitor, but also I'm so big, so physical, and sevens team is pretty small. So I was maybe 30 kilos than others. So I was terrible. I break so many legs in the team. I break the legs of Jessie Tremolier, my best friend. I broke her legs. Yeah.
Actually broke?
No, I mean, in 2016, just after Rio Olympics, I broke her legs.
You look way too happy about this. Isn't she your friend?
I know, but it's just because I'm so physical and sometimes I cannot manage well my body.
I understand that.
And yeah, because maybe sometimes I want to do that, but sorry, I touched you. Sorry for that. I can manage the
Control
space
your
around
limbs.
me.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go back to Jessie's legs. What happened?
That was just after Olympics, and that was the first training camp in Buja, in the middle of nowhere, because David Kotex loves that. Our coach.
I love David.
Oh yeah,
I love David.
I love him too. He's so good. And so we were in the middle of nowhere. I think the second training of the training camp, and that was tackle drills, and I tackled her, but I managed so well my weight and my body fall on her ankle, and I broke her ankle. What do you call this? Les pompiers? Fireman truck came to on the pitch. That was awful. I was,
The
my God.
ambulance.
Yeah, I was so bad, really, because I think she came back from injury and I broke her the second training of the season. That was awful.
But you're still friends?
Yeah, of course we are still friends, but yeah, I broke so many people during my career and so many friends.
And
Really,
you are the most apologetic.
Oh, yeah. I think it was better and better at the end of my career, but at the beginning that was awful. Really, I broke many stitches.
Cheekbone stitches, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
Noses.
To be fair, played second row, back row 15s, and then when she played sevens, you played prop and then ended up on the wing.
Yeah.
So she was on the wing. So
That
ended up
is-
on the edge of the field.
Yeah, danger.
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 Like, yeah.
Yeah. No one should have to defend that. No,
it was
that's
was
why
scary.
people were broken.
In the biggest complimenting way. Does that make
Yeah,
sense? You know what
yeah.
I mean? Yeah, but very scary. Because you also have some serious pace about you.
Pace? What is
Speed.
Oh, speed. Yeah, because I'm from athletics, so that was a good asset. And yeah, because I was also very big, very, very tall, and I was one of the first players like this with this profile. So they said, yeah, I wasn't selected for the Six Nations in 2014. Maybe not the last grand big slam, but a big slam for France. And they said, okay, we don't want her for the 15, but maybe for the 7 she could be good because she's quite speed. So yeah, David Kotek said, okay, let's do it. And we have been on a training camp in Amsterdam because also before ages ago. Yeah, a long time ago. It was a good sport for rugby sevens. And yeah, I did my first start over there. And just, 6 months after that, I was the first professional players in France. So that was crazy for me because I just started to play 3 years before, and so that was a dream to be professional, but not a real dream, because we said, okay, there is no money on women rugby, no one is playing rugby. I mean, 8,000 players in France in 2010, so not a lot. Now we are 30,000, so
Wow.
it's a big progression. And then, I started to play seven like this during 6 years. That was very hard because, when you are very big, you are second row, and you have, the French style, it's to run everywhere. And seven, it's so hard physically, technically. Sometimes, David, we trained four training in the day. 4
sessions in a day.
4 sessions in the day. Is a bit crazy, military crazy.
Can we talk about the hair? You have beautiful hair, but your hair at the Rugby World Cup in 2017, I watched it again earlier. Do you know what I'm talking
braids?
About? Yes.
Monica beads.
The red and the white and the... I mean, you were Ruby Tui before Ruby Tui. Ruby Tui.
Reg.
Yeah. Why did we stop? I mean...
Because it's so long to do that. I spent 6 hours to take off all my braids alone and so many knots on my hair. I said, oh my God, that was so damaged after that. But that was so cool. For 3 weeks, no needed to brush your hair. Just, you are awake every morning, you do your ponytail, and that's it. That was really good.
Low maintenance, high impact. Poof.
Yeah, but for white hairs is a bit scratchy. Itchy.
Yeah, for your scalp.
Yeah, but that was my dream to do that. Why? Because I was athlete before, and my big star was when I was young. There were athletes. And all the athletes, French athletes, had some braid, blue, white, and red, the French flags on their heads. I said, "Oh my God! If I am, because my dream was to be professional in athletics and to represent France. So I said, my dream is to do that."
That's cool.
And that's why I did it for the Rugby World Cup. And really, was good. Yeah, it was so good.
You look back on it now and you were like, yeah, I did it. I did it. I got there. Tell me about that heptathlete background. How, is there anything that really, that you could, was there a transferable skill from that into rugby that you felt like, oh, I have the superpower from this whole other background that no one else here has?
Yeah, heptathlon is so hard because it's 7
disciplines.
Thanks.
Events.
Yes.
7 disciplines for 2 days, and it's so long, and mentally it's so hard because you can win many points in your first disciplines. Like I was very good for hurdlers, 100 meters hurdlers, but I was so bad for 100 meters because I'm not very endurance wasn't good. So mentally you have to count your points. And that's a bit like sevens because for 2 days you have 3 games every days, and mentally you have to prepare yourself all the time before your discipline.
Yeah, because you're on and then you're off.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're on and then you're off.
That's so hard for in sevens to be very consistent, because I think it's easier to be consistent when you play 15 because you are 80 minutes. And then it's finished, and you have 1 week off, or maybe not 1 week off, but you have time for recover. And that 7, it's so quick. In 3 hours, you need to be ready. And even if you are frustrated of your last game, you have to switch on, switch off very quickly. and that was a bit like Epsilon.
Have you got any
Like-
stories on Armo?
McLean. Yeah.
You
and-
can throw her right
Come
under the
on,
bus
come
if
on,
you
give
want.
us all the Mohan
It's
stories.
absolutely fine.
I mean, she was in there.
She's incredible. Incredible player. During this game, she was just phenomenal. My cousin was in the stand and he told me, "Who is the 9? She's so great." I said, "Yeah," and she's not selected for England at this moment. And he was very surprised and he said, "Oh my God, this player is so good, so good." And also, she's incredible human. Maybe because I'm French, and also we have a good big rivalry against England, so we cannot like English people, so it's not possible. But during this time, I said, "Oh my God,
Never possible.
Never possible.
and after Barbara said, "Oh my God, you are so good players, so good people. Really, I love you guys." So yeah, and I was a bit proud to play with Katie McLean. She was my hero. She is a hero for England. So great players. She played for long. And yeah, so nice people. She looks not nice on TV. I said, "Oh, she doesn't look nice, but she's so nice." Yeah, Mo, during the party every night, she was the best one.
She's normally leading the charge.
Oh
She
my
is.
God, I love that. I love this feeling to be in the team. You are here for the rugby, but also for having memories all together and to share our culture and memories, because of course we played many times against each other. So yeah, that was so cool to play for Barbarians. Really, it's so good memories, and I feel so grateful to have the opportunity. Okay, I'm not playing the autumn tournament with French, but I'm playing international game against South Africa, and to play my game, to play how I want to play, and that was so good to be around so good players. Cathy and Mo, 9 and 10. Magnifique.
Magnifique.
Well, I mean, if she says it like that, it's got to be true. None of us are going to disagree with you on that. How come you came to play in the English League then? Like, talk me through the decision to play in the Prem 15s.
I wanted to finish my career during the Rugby World Cup in 2021.
Well,
Just after the lockdown, I said, okay, one more year and it's done. I will be retired and that's it. And then we just received the news. The Rugby World Cup is postponed to the next year. So I said, oh my God, one more year. Okay, let's do it. But I wasn't selected. I didn't play, and I didn't want to finish my career like this. So I said, yeah, I need a new challenge. And also because I played with Barbarians, and
She liked English people now.
Yeah, I had some quite good friends, English friends. And so I said, maybe that could be a good challenge for finishing your career and to involve in the best premiership, a women premiership in the world. So I said, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I arrived in London. Yeah. And yeah, so the beginning was with Wasps. I was very happy to be a Waspy girly.
Was it? That? Did you learn that? Did you learn that? Yeah, it's relentless.
Yeah, and just I spent 6 weeks with them, and that was fantastic. They integrated me so well.
Wasps are well known for having one of the better social scenes.
That was crazy.
Old school club vibes, yeah.
What did
People
they
were
do?
so
How did
nice,
they
so
integrate you?
kind. I mean, they just spent many times with me to teach me many English words. I have a list on my phone, and I have some different parts. So rugby words, expression, sexual words.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, many parts of words, and that was so good. You know, I learned so quickly English during these 6 weeks because I was full time with WASP, and we have
all
many
the key categories covered.
Just those 3 categories, really important.
Yeah, I think for sustainability category too, because I'm involved in this. But that was so good. So yeah, we spent many time together. How do you call it? Social? Yeah, social, many socials. So yeah, I felt so good in the team.
And then how did the move to Quins come about?
Yeah, so I came back to France and I took my time look for a new club. So I said, I knock to the doors and I said, hello, I'm looking for a club. I'm looking for, yeah. So you leave your ego and you said, hello, I'm looking for a club and I want to play. Please take me in your club. That's it. That's what happened. So, and also I wanted to stay in London because it was easier for me to return in Paris. So yeah, I make my choice to join Harlequins like this.
How much was Bryony Cleal in your ear as well?
Yeah, Bryony, she wanted a new club, and also we kept in touch when I was in France. I said, I don't know what I have to do, but yeah, she said it's a good club, and also I've seen on social media, Instagram, Harlequins, they look so much professional, and also good promotion about women rugby. So I said maybe that could be a good club for me. And really, I don't regret my choice, even if we play a lot of forward games, contacts all the time. Not enough for me.
Yeah.
Not enough. I love space. I love to move the ball, and yeah, the ball doesn't come to me. But anyway, I'm very happy and very proud to be part of Quins because, yeah, it's a huge club and legendary club, and also very professional, and that's for me very interesting because maybe when I will be back to France, maybe I involve in women rugby, and I could say, yeah, in England they are doing this so well, so maybe we can. It's very inspirational to see that, to move the board in France at the French Federation to say, hello, we exist, so we'd like to have more money in our premiership in France. And I think we can have the best premiership in the world in France because we have so good coach, good players, and also the style is good. I love the way we learned to play rugby. But now
and you have a lot of fans. Sorry,
and a lot of fans.
Like, I
but
mean,
now
crucial.
we need money to invest in our premiership for sure.
Sorry, I was going to say, and then we could get a European competition.
Well, I mean,
or just English league, French league. Well, say top of the league. Let's not predict who that is, but let's go from last season. Say Sarries versus whoever won the French league.
Blagnac, no, Stade Toulousain.
What do you think the outcome of that would be? Do you think it would be a really good tight game like the internationals are, or do you think one would be?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I really love Stade Toulousain. They jouer all the time. I love it. It's quite like the French team. And also they give money to their women team, and also the president of the club. I like to watch what they are doing. We can see it's a club culture compared to other clubs. There is a strong culture of rugby, and everyone in Toulouse loves red and black. And the men are so good. I love how they play. So yeah, I hope they will win the European Cup. So yeah, I think it could be quite interesting to see and to watch Saris against Stade Toulousain. But I think that will happen. I don't know when, but
And
I
where?
think
Where you fit it into a calendar.
and also how, because a lot of players are also amateur, so they need money and they cannot earn money from rugby. So if you are all the weekend with your team for the Premiership and also European Championship, that would be too much for women.
For the system at the moment, but it could shift quite quickly, as we've seen in the women's game over the last 3 years, how quickly things can shift. Predictions going into this very last round of the TikTok Women's Six Nations. Since we have you here, we need to get your thoughts. All 6 spots up for grabs. Nothing is at this stage even remotely clear, which is probably the most exciting outcome you could ask for.
Love that.
Right up to the end.
And 3 games that are going to be crackers.
Let's start from the end and then work back. Scotland, Ireland, Edinburgh Rugby Stadium, Edinburgh, Lenny.
Yeah, you mean what is my prediction?
Prediction.
Yeah, not the score, just winning
Yeah,
team.
you can do score if you want.
Give us a score. Give us a score. Come on, don't be shy.
I think Scotland. Yeah.
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 How much?
Because I was a bit disappointed about Irish team, but I mean, so rebuilding a new project, and we know it's so hard for this team at this moment, and also because Scotland, are quite good. I think it's quite interesting. I love Helen the 10
Nelson
from Loughborough.
So many reasons to come to Loughborough.
She's good, and I love the spirit in their team. They're so friendly, so nice. I think it's my favorite team in the Six Nations. Yeah,
Try not
so
to take
nice.
offence over here.
That's true.
You guys have this in common. You both secretly Scottish.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
No
love
secrets
that.
about it for me.
Okay, Scazzy.
Oh, am I doing one?
Oh, well, come on.
Yeah, I
you're obviously
think-
going Scotland there.
Come on, the Scottish.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Italy, Wales.
What's the stat on... I read one earlier about the last time Italy lost in Parma, and it was a long time ago, i.e. they're very good at home. But I do think Wales will win.
First time Wales have stayed out there. First time the girls have not had to come back and work during the week and then go back out to Europe. First time they could just go straight from France over to Parma. Big difference there
Big difference.
in just everything about how you prepare for this game.
100%.
Prediction?
I think Wales is going well. We can see when you professionalize players, they are much better on the pitch and they are more organized. And they were so good in the 22. We have so many difficulties to defend
Goal
the
zone.
ball
Practice
again.
goal zone.
Goal zone. Exactly. We need to practice the goal zone. So, yeah, I think Wales it maybe will win, but I really love Italian style. Since the Rugby World Cup, they play so well. They are also more professional status, even if they are they don't have the same contracts than in France or England.
Yep.
But yeah, I really love the way to play all the time, offload. The support in attack is so good. Yeah, I really love their style. So yeah, I hope there will be a good game.
Who's going to win, Lenny?
Come on.
Splinters over it.
Get off the fence there, girl.
Okay,
Make a
Wales.
call.
Wales.
Wales. There we
Yeah,
go.
I think so.
Here we go, Wales. If Wales do what you say they will, and we've got two pretty informed people here. They go into WXV1, which is massive. It's the second time in a row then that they finished third in the Women's Six Nations, really consolidating that spot as the chief of like the best of the rest position almost within this tournament. But it's crucial because they get to go play against some very strong opposition in WXV later in the year, and that means the Wales that you get back the next time around for the Women's Six Nations will be a completely different kettle of fish, which 100%. Is so exciting. WXV, talk to me about that and the impact this will have on French rugby, considering what you've said about the fact that the domestic league just doesn't give enough of an opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's good news for England and France, because obviously we don't play a lot against New Zealand,
we
Australia.
Play each other a lot.
Yeah, too much. Too much.
I don't know if you could see that, but she rolled her eyes as she said that.
So yeah, I think it's good to see different adversity, and also I think that could improve our level, because we are a bit lazy. I mean, not lazy, but you see the first half against Wales was amazing for France, but the second one was okay, we secure the score, so it's easy. So, and it's been like this for many times in the Six Nations. We know who will be the first and the second one team. So we would like to have more adversity in the Six Nations, but also because they don't give money and invest money in women rugby in Italy, in Scotland, in Ireland, in Wales. So that's why the level is different. But I'm sure in 10 years, if they give more money to this team, that could be much better. And that could be a better balance between us.
But also just regular competition, regular matches against teams that you don't play or haven't played as regularly in the last 5 years. The experience at Rugby World Cup 21, like from everyone that we've spoken to so far, has said, just playing different teams, playing teams we haven't played against. New Zealand playing Wales. This is going to happen potentially again then.
It's so good. Like, you look back and you think, I can't remember, when we played Australia in the World Cup, when we were pre-analysis stuff, I was chatting to our analyst, and he was like, I think the last time we played was like 2013 or just something daft, like a daft number. Yeah, a daft amount of years. That might be slightly inaccurate. I can't actually remember what it was, but it was a long, long time ago. So you've got to that game's almost irrelevant. There's no point looking back at it because it's that long ago. So just that opportunity, as you say, to play those teams more regularly. Everyone's going to get better by doing that, 100%. And if you're not, you're forced to try, if that makes any sense. But
it gives you a meaty challenge to really get
properly meaty.
Sink your teeth into and have a good go at. Who's going to win?
Should we say it after 3? Really?
Okay, you can both say it together. Okay, give me your answers in 3, 2, 1.
England.
France.
Right on brand. The last scores have never been massively. Well, 2022 there was a 12-point margin. 21 there was a 4-point margin. What kind of margin are we talking on a clear day in Twickenham with Sugar Babes performing?
Oh, Sugar Babes!
Stop. So good. I think small
margin.
I do. I think less than two scores or less.
53,000 people in the ground. Will that intimidate the French girls or fire them up?
Yeah, I'm a bit like Scaz. I think, that will be a short score. Because
she's going to get stuck into us again
more
now.
malls for... It depends of the weather. It depends of the weather.
We need a beeper every time you say mall.
malls,
No
contacts, pick and go.
It's a drinking game. Every time there's a mall. Way!
for the branch.
There we go. Okay. Do French fans know Sugar Babe songs, or do we need to do educational sessions outside the stadium as people walk in?
No, we know.
You know the Sugar Babes?
Yeah.
Favorite tune?
She knows well. My best friend is there, and she said, "Oh my God, Sugar Babes is going to Twickenham." I said, "What?" She said, "Sugar Babes."
Sugar
I said,
Babes.
what? So I've been on what do you say? Spotify, and I said to the Queen's physio, "Who's Sugar Babes?" And she showed me. I said, "Oh yes, this song. I know this song. I like it. I like it."
What's your favourite song? Oh, strong.
Round, round.
Strong.
It's a good one.
It's very strong.
Becky with the good hair is going to be doing work things. And you're going to be doing work things as well. Martha, you and I, we're going to be there for the tunes. The two of them are going to be there like working. So no rounding for them. Their loss. We're going to be okay. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks a lot. That was
thank
so
you.
good to talk to English people.
Have we used up all of your English bundles now? Are you just going to speak French for the rest of the day? That's how I get sometimes. Not French with Afrikaans.
Because you're Africans.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm speaking my second language as well. I always say to them, I get incoherent at, like, if we do this thing
It
too
starts
late in the
drivelling
evening.
towards the end sometimes.
Sometimes Emily just looks at me and goes, yes, okay.
You have not a strong accent.
Well,
I mean, no? Because our forward coach is Afrikaans, and he has a strong accent.
there are stronger versions of this. Rassie Erasmus is probably the peak example of a very heavy Afrikaans accent. But I have
Very.
shaved. Yeah, I've shaved a lot of it nice and round, and I'm trying my best to be more coherent and speaking a little slower for everyone's benefit.
Thank you. Thank you for your efforts.
Will you be our French correspondent when you return to the motherland?
Yeah, with pleasure. With pleasure.
Go.
So
I
good.
feel more
Lenny.
confident after 1 year in London.
Yeah. So
More exchange programs, and if you need someone who can basically just say, what are the French words you had? The
Bonjour.
bonjour,
Merci.
merci, ça va,
Salut.
salut, oui. Then we can offer up
Pain au chocolat.
Bon
Joking.
chocolat. Yeah.
we can offer up Becky with a good hair,
Bon.
our Queen Scaz. But it was lovely to have you in, and thank you for the contributions you've made to the wider family.
Thanks a lot.
And we
So
will
slowly.
be thinking of you when we bid farewell to Jessie this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that. I think both of us will be. We have been so many times at Twickenham and no one. So I'm sure when we will be in the stand and we will see all the crowd for our friends on the pitch, we say, "Oh my God." And I hope you will see that, because me, I retire. I will be retired, but not you. So I hope you will see that and enjoy a lot. And of course, the Rugby World Cup will be in England in 2025, and you have. I know you have a big target. That will be awesome. Really, I can't wait for the Rugby World Cup in England.
And may you be running things over in France by then, because I think the French rugby can only benefit. Thank you so much for joining us in your beautiful red shirt.
The one and only.
She made it through completely on brand with the dress code, eventually. And that brings us to the end of this episode. If you are coming to Twickenham for Lekrunch, please come say hi. Emily's probably going to be busy, but I'd love to chat to you. So don't be shy. I promise I'm not that rude in person. It's going to be lovely. We've been The Good, The Scaz and The Rugby, brought to you by Vodafone. This is a Folding Pocket production produced by Shira Kilgallen.